I've got the wrong thing on screen. You guys are good at this. There we go. Ignore the fact that the wrong thing was at the front for a moment there. I love when OBS decides to flip which one's lit up, even though I did not change that. But anyway, it's time for us to finish the archipelago. We only have Bomberman Hero and Kirby left to finish. We've got some legwork to do here in Bomberman yet. Let's get that Bomberman work done, shall we? Because here in Planet Bomber, we have our last stage, Sky Room. Because if you look, we have done every stage here in Planet Bomber otherwise. So let's go ahead and get that completed. I guess that check was for something that was done already. Oh, hey, bud. Why are you leaving without me? That's rude. Oh, thanks for the gem, I guess. Little concerning that neither of those checks have sent anything, but I'm assuming they are checks for games that are done already. You'll notice our bombs have definitely gotten stronger. They even make a different noise now. Oh, because they're at level 4. Which I think is max flame? We're actually still missing a bomb up somewhere, though. Which is interesting. Yeah. Okay. Really was worried that that was gonna go wrong for me, I'll be honest with you. I'm not gonna worry too hard about getting 100% of these stages anymore, but I am going to, you know, still try to do it. Just for sake of completeness. But I don't think we have too much left to worry about now. Howdy, Nerd Knight, how you doing? And we took a hit there, but that's okay. Bomberman has so much health now. I'm doing fine. A little bit of a warm day, so, you know, trying to hold together as best I can. Howdy, Kyrie. Well, you are also doing well today. Yeah, it's another hot week, I think, coming up. Just gonna have to make it through that as best we can. But just cleaning up what's left of this old archipelago. Yeah, that's what we were just talking about too. It is too damn hot. But hopefully it'll cool off for everybody here soon. It was supposed to storm this week and then just like nothing happened with that at here. So I'm hopeful that it'll actually happen. Yeah, it's easy to end up doing that. Thankfully links are fine here. I take care of things like that manually if people end up putting things they shouldn't. Specifically because of how easy it is to typo something like that and end up getting batted. 4,050 doesn't sound right. There's probably some items missing in here. So let's go take a look around again to make sure. Because for everybody coming in late, this is part of an archipelago, so getting the 5 points on these stages does matter, because it might send the last thing Kirby needs to finish everything over there as well. Pretty sure we went over here and got this already. I'm just making sure there's nothing like floating in the air here. They're a lot of fun. They can be very complicated, but they're a lot of fun. We are most of the way done with this one. We finished up Spyro 3 and Crystal Project yesterday, and we just have Kirby and Bomberman left to finish now. So they have most of their stuff. They just need like one thing here, one thing there that happen to be in each other. I did go fetch one thing in Kirby preemptively, because otherwise there was going to be a real weird sidestep I was going to have to do which would have gotten awkward in the VOD afterwards, so I just opted to fix it ahead of time. There's nothing over here. We grabbed the thing that was sitting there before. Does this floating platform lead to something that I didn't grab? Because it does go high enough that there might be something up there. Yeah, there's a bunch of odd things like that. Because there's a handful of enemies that also don't technically count toward the score limit, but if you get at them, it actually does put your score over for those stages as well. And yeah, I just don't know what the thresholds for every stage are. Thanks, physics. Well, don't have to worry about it now. Gonna have to do it again anyway. That is the curse of the platforming in this, is you expect it to move differently than it does at times, and it just doesn't do it. So this will prove out either way, is now, since that bomb no longer exists, we will find out if that was the reason for the score difference. Because that was what was at the top of this tower. Yeah. Oh no, it did come back, which is weird. I blame Archipelago for it coming back. We're just gonna ignore it. Yeah, for those also unfamiliar, grabbing those is extra important in Archipelago because each of those is randomized to be an item as well. Just due to how many games are done at this point, most of the checks no longer matter. Really just doing extra checks just as a completeness thing. I don't even have to hit that, but just in case I forgot something again. Okay, Bomberman, why didn't you grab the ledge? Why didn't you grab that? Did you just want to die? Because I can understand, but that doesn't help my cause at all. Like, I get that he doesn't have fingers, but he grabs all these other ledges just fine. And I've definitely grabbed those moving platforms like that before, so I know it's not he can't do that. It must have just, like, moved the one pixel it needed to out of his hands at exactly the wrong second. This is totally not me just padding out time to make sure that this actually ends up a worthwhile amount of time. That one was not intentional. Because the simple fact of the matter is, literally all Kirby has to do is go finish the game, do its final fight, and it's done. But it's waiting potentially on a crystal shard from here. Because when I checked earlier, it didn't have its fight available yet. I did, however, go do one check in it, which may have caused the fight to exist. The situation with Kirby and Archipelago has been a little odd across the board here, so not entirely sure what's going on with that. But such is the curse of doing Archipelago with things you've not eaten before. Why did I end up that far to the right that time? I mean, that far down, rather. I must have hit the edge of the conveyor belt, like, right as I jumped. And that threw off my angle, maybe? I love how this was smooth and perfect, and all it took was me second-guessing my score to cause me to have to do this stage 7 times now. That's all it takes sometimes. That's all it takes. One small error, and then everything falls apart. On the bright side, at least we're having less speed issues. now that the rest of the games are no longer active. Also, I don't know why I got pulled to the side in the air there a moment ago either, because I did not touch the stick at all. For those curious about that little situation. So now and then, when the stick snaps back, it does add some movement, so that might have been it? Hard to say. Let's be more careful about this jump this time, shall we? That's fine. Pay the toll. It really is sad that all of those extra lives I had, though, have been burnt on a stage in the first world. But that's what you get when you have just piles of instant death to fall into, is a lot of just, oops, you lost a life. So be it. And for those wondering why I somehow still have my vest, no matter how many times I come and go from a stage, Archipelago makes that act a little weird too, where I just get to keep it forever. It also interacts very strangely with some of the other power-ups because of that, but it's fine. It's kind of nice just having the permanent vest. Ooh, I thought I was getting screwed there because Bomberman just didn't get any distance on that jump. Now is when I'm gonna have somehow missed things and the whole score is gonna fall apart again anyway. No, it's because of you and your chickens. Yeah, it's not super clear how the vest works, because if you just happen to never blow yourself up, or at least not do it often, you never quite put two and two together on that one. I remember not understanding it when I was young either. But you also don't get to keep it for very long most of the time anyway, to figure it out. Yeah, that probably was also stuff for Crystal Project, which is done. So, none of those checks mattered. We're just cleaning up the stages we ended up picking up from the end of Crystal Project, pretty much. Which is why all these stages are out of order, is because you have to find them in the Archipelago worlds. I am connected, so... just give you a bomb. Probably should double check to make sure it's connected so that it sends its remaining items. Because it did disconnect earlier because of the fact that it had been sitting for a while. Yeah, so it was proven out to be the bomb, yeah. There we go. Just killing off all the extra enemies here. Probably gonna be something up in these trees, but I'll worry about that later. I'm assuming there's gonna be a way to get up in those trees further down, and then I have to cross back if there's anything up there. Whoop. Yeah, generally the way I can tell whether I'm meeting the score requirement or not is whether it's a nice round number at all. If there's a 50 just kind of floating somewhere, I get very suspicious. Because that usually means I missed, like, a power-up somewhere, because I don't need to pick up the power-ups. Thanks to the fact that... oh, I fucked up. I should have grabbed that before I blew up the box. I thought that was just in regular jump reach, so I... well, fuck it. Because every power-up is worth 50 points as well for those who did not keep up with that. So, if you miss a single power-up, it's a whole thing. Attack the freeze flower with a rolling bomb. I guess they mean attack not the center with it, then. Unless a rolling bomb is a power-up that I'm forgetting about, which, with this game, I believe it. Yeah, because hitting these side things doesn't seem to be particularly possible. So let's go see if I can find something. Yeah, the extra spice to this whole situation here is I've never actually finished this game before. I obviously played it when I was young, but I never finished it. And ordinarily with an archipelago, you should know the game at least somewhat before you do these. Thanks to that sub-goal that I had put up, we ended up with things being a little extra interesting. Okay, no, there's not really much in the way of other power-ups laying around. Heck with it. I'll come back to this if we still can't complete everything. This way, at least this stage was done. Still only bronze there. Got Rockin' Road and Nitros to do here. That seems like a trap. Yep. I'm suspicious of that hole, but I'm not going to test it right now. Yeah, that's what I figured, is the ones that have things in them would be obvious. They're probably for saving you from the rocks, though, not just to kill you, but I don't trust like that. Yeah, the only power-ups that actually function as their power-ups in this, because of Archipelago, are the hearts and the gold hearts. They'll still heal me. All the rest of them are just for points, because I get permanent power-ups because of Archipelago. I could have had them still work normally, but I figured it'd be more interesting for them to be scattered throughout the rest of the games. Which... it definitely made things interesting early on when I had no health to fight half the bosses of the game with. And by interesting, I mean somewhat miserable sometimes. You know, that's how it usually goes. Now? Said get him. Thank you. This way I don't have to worry about running into him when I run over here. That door is gonna be an enemy. What do you know? Thankfully, because I'm immune to my own bombs, I can kind of just do this and just make a permanent explosion shield in front of myself. There we go, another 5-pointer. Still no actual checks from any of this. Which means none of this was for Kirby or for Bomberman anywhere in here. But that is the problem with having your checks way off balance because of having a ton of checks be weighted towards Crystal Project because it had so many more items than everything else. Or Nitros just getting bullied all the time. No, none of that. I have enough health, I could literally just stand here and tank you at this point and win. You know, except my controls got stuck for a moment. There we go, Nitros defeated. And that should be a 5-pointer with 7 and 7. I'm pretty sure most of these are 7,000 thresholds. Yeah, that was a 65. Done. Hey, that was where my last bomb up was. And see, that's proof there. That's how Archipelago works. That tracker down in the bottom right tells you what I picked up. Okay, so that's everything here except Water Slider, which we just haven't found. Just a hole we still don't have. Death Temple we do have. And Dark Maze we don't have. Okay. Let's go do Death Temple. It's so weird doing these stages out of order, but that's the way it goes. Huh? Oh, there's a hole there. There we go. What a foolproof cage they put me in, except for, you know, the hole in it. I'm assuming there's stuff up here. Yeah, but we need to activate this first. Okay. Understood. The nice thing about this game is most of the stages are very straightforward about where 90% of the items are. Some of them are funny in that they've got them placed in unique locations. We'll say unique. Yes. Yes. There we go. Get the health up. It's always good to have. Ooh, there's a gold heart over there. That'd be nice to have. Big crushy boy. Multiple big crushy boys. Oh, I see the bit here. Well, I see the vision, but I do not like what I'm seeing. Don't worry, I'm one of you. Everything is fine. Nothing to be suspicious about here at all, no. Everything is just fine. Now I make my escape.
Welcome to your doom.
I mean, it is the Death Temple, so, you know, Doom is a natural point of this. Be disappointed if they weren't aiming for Doom here. Oh, that's a lot of masks. That's concerning. Grab that. Grab this before he gets back. Very good. Just gonna get down here without falling to my death. Give me all of these. Was it risky to jump back? Yes. Was it riskier to walk back? Arguably also yes. Ah. If. Oh, there's just a bunch of them that are fake. Okay. Yep, I was gonna say, there's absolutely gonna be one in the middle here to try to knock you in this hole. That was pretty much a given. Can't get that gem if I do this, so hang on. Gem first. In fact, we could just disregard that platform entirely. Who needs that platform? It's trying to kill me. That's not where I told you to kick that. There you go. So this is another stage that has 2 doors. Thankfully, the 2 doors don't matter. Thanks, Bomberman. Thanks for ignoring instructions again, little buddy. Doing a great job. The controls in this game are just, like, ever so slightly scuffed. And I do blame emulation as much as anything for the little bit of scuff. At the same time, it is an N64 game, so it is scuffed by its own very nature a little bit too, but, you know, be what it be. We'll make it work. I've certainly worked with worse. Jump in the line. Don't get crushed this time. We haven't gotten crushed yet, but, you know, let's just avoid that happening in the first place, shall we? we just don't get crushed, good things happen. For me. Not so much good things for them, but you know, that's their problem to figure out, not mine. That teleporter is probably important. What is a hitbox? Answer something they may not fully understand with those masks. So I would assume there probably was a limitation in play that made them have to square those off more than they should have. Let's see where this teleporter takes me. I'm assuming it takes me to the sign on the wall. No, it actually takes me to where I jumped to and died. So, you know, maybe I should have just tried that in the first place, huh? Well, you know, you live, you learn. Or in this case, you die, you learn, but same thing most of the time. Ah, there's the wall pass. Not to be confused with a hall pass. I'm assuming this is going to make the platform move. Yep. And that's how I get the pass. There we go. Go fetch those gems, and then we make our way to the regular exit, not the pass wall exit. Ordinarily, I believe that would send you to two different stages, so you'd actually have to do the stage twice if you want to go everywhere. But thanks to Archipelago, I have more and less problems at the same time in that regard. I'm inclined to suspect that Kirby has the rest of Bomberman's stages in it somewhere, because there's a bunch of shards I didn't go grab in Kirby 64. Those shards being where most of Kirby's checks are. It's completing stages and getting the crystal shards that are how Kirby sends out items. And all of Kirby's powers and double powers in that game are what he receives for the most part, other than things like that sandwich you see over there in the tracker, which is just a heal, which would be great if I was playing at the same time as other people, but obviously this is all me flying solo for this one. So if you are interested in seeing this kind of thing again, but with multiple people involved, we'll be doing one with the council here soon. Yeah, 3,000 was right. That's what I thought. I did it! For nothing! Oh, hey, we're gonna be leaving this world off on 69. You know what? That seems fine to me. No problems here. Yeah, this is really not gonna take nearly as long as I had theorized it would. So it's a good thing I've got multiple backups in mind for what to do afterwards. Like, I'm sure the Bagular fight and the 0-2 fight for Kirby are both going to take a while, because they are final bosses in fairly old games at this point. Means they're going to be rude and rough, probably, but we will get through it. And Bomberman in games in particular tend to have pretty difficult final battles. I probably have to activate these. Yeah. Oh, these only stay temporarily activated, though. Well, this is where I need it to be, so that's perfect. Fishing with explosives. Accept your fate and perish. One of those was gonna work eventually. Pay no mind to the fact that the world just rendered in the distance, you know. And 64 render distances. Don't rain on my parade. I do that well enough on my own. Interesting that you chased me around and then backed off to throw your frill at me. What an interesting choice you made there. Including jumping on the bomb. Maybe he thought he was saving me. Maybe he was a hero. I mean, he's dead either way now, but you know. Who knows what he thought he was doing. I still don't know why the spikes in this game make such an aggressive sound. Like they're firing lasers at me. Oh, there's a pass wall here. Interesting. His corpse was fronting on me. I didn't like it. You ever have a corpse front on you? It really just is weird. Exactly. Okay, hey, what you got there, huh? Can I see? Can I have it? Ah, the pass walls for the bomb that's in there. Okay. Open up. You would think these explosions would get through the leaves just fine, but they are giant plants, so maybe they've got like, some kind of crazy durability to those leaves. This is such a good idea. And again, getting rid of those did help the frame rate, so there's that. That bomb was not real. Or it actually was real and it's my own... Actually, no, because it would still prompt in the listing if it was my own bomb. It would just say, a Bomberman found his own attic bomb. This score seems wrong, but it's probably fine. Nope, I missed something. It's fine. I did it! There we go, there's the crystal shard, so there was still something left for Kirby. Because I think we did get Kirby all of his abilities at this point. The last one we got was Cutter, which was weird that that took forever to find. Time to beat up Nitros again. Starting this fight down 2 health is going to be an inconvenience, but it's just Nitros. It'll be fine. So I keep overthrowing, like, all of these. No, you made me blow myself up in a way that actually hurt me. It also did multiple ticks of damage. Right, this is one of the most dangerous Nitros fights because he's got Line Bomb. And Line Bomb is really dangerous. Can be used against your opponent just fine too, of course, but, you know, really dangerous when those bombs all do 2 damage. So I don't think I'm getting the 5 on this one. Yeah, I think that's too low. So that's probably another 65. Yep, dang it. If I hadn't missed the first, like, half the fight, I probably would have had that one, but it's fine. We're gonna press on to the end and see if the fight's lit up. If it isn't, we'll worry about coming back for that. Nope, Aguilar's lit up. We can go finish the game. We're gonna die the first time because I only have 2 hit points, but, you know. What's up, old man? Hey, you got dashes. How about if I just leave this for you? You were supposed to hit it. Yep, now you're starting to do the teleporting thing, because, you know, you're Bomberman final boss, you've got to teleport around. Oh, there's the first hit. I'm assuming this is a multi-phase fight, as these usually are. Also, this pattern is entirely too generous for a final battle anyway, so it's kind of obvious that it would be. Yep, he's doing something. Oh, right, the turn into a crystal bit. Or, okay. Look, Mom, on TV. And the score continues to tick down. I gotta hit the real one, which I'm assuming is the one that wasn't laughing. But I didn't really get a chance to do anything with that information. But we'll figure it out. Now that I have full health, now it's more of a concern. Camera, please. Why are you spinning so much? You do not have to spin that much. I actually kind of prefer when he teleports around, because he can't hurt me unless he happens to telefrag me. Okay, if he crashes into a bomb while he's dashing, he can't hurt himself that way, so that doesn't work. He has to be stopped and standing. I'll just keep throwing these. You're gonna stop on one of them eventually. I think he doesn't stop teleporting until he's safe. But it was funny to keep trying to do that anyway. Okay, full health for second phase. This should be fine. Plenty of leeway to figure this out. That is, like, just the right angle to be kind of annoying to hit, though. There we go, that was one. Because with the way they wobble around, too, they just sometimes just happen to list gradually out of the way of a thrown bomb. When they happen to all cluster up, it's rather easy to hit them, though. There we go. I'm not aiming for a 5-pointer here, I'm just aiming to end this. How many hits do you take in this form? I would assume as many as you took in the first form. Oh, he's doing something now. Third form, I presume? Oh, you just kind of have a tank now. Okay, sure. Why not? Not laughing anymore, though. Yangi. There he goes, now he's happy again. Yeah, I figured there'd be shield projectors just like the Sphinx. Ooh, the frames. Ooh, chunky. Oh, I see. Break the arms first, because they take damage, and then I worry about going from there. Okay. Makes sense. So we'll just circle strafe and hit that arm on this side first, and go from there. How many hits does one arm take, though? The height on that laser arm is a problem. There we go. How is it catching me every time now? We were doing so well with it the first bit, and now it's just like, nope. Nothing good ever again for you, Bomberman. I disagree with that one not counting. Probably better to have circled straight around him on this side than the other side in hindsight, but, well, you know. Learning process. Yep. As soon as I left the ground, I knew I was gonna get screwed on that one.
The game's over.
It would honestly be very funny if each phase was an actual checkpoint, but I didn't get the checkpoint because I got a game over. I would not be shocked if that's true. Oh, right, I forgot. When you get a game over in this stupid game, you only get half your health for some reason. Right. You know what? No point even bothering then. We'll save some time. There we go. Go into this with actual health instead of half health. I have nothing to prove. You know, anybody ever told you look kind of like an owl? Gonna kill you so fast your head's gonna spin. Hey, Mr. Owl, how many bombs does it take to get to the center of your body? There we go. Back into your TV. This is probably the phase where I'm gonna lose the most health just because they just charge at me and zap me with lightning immediately. Yes, game, I clearly didn't want to jump and throw those. I clearly only wanted to throw them. Exactly. Gotta hit all the timely references. I'm so happy that that shot landed. I feel like I didn't deserve for that shot to land, but I'll take it. I also forget if running out of score is death. I feel like it is, but I don't remember. We haven't actually run into that problem yet. But I'm gonna play as if it is just to be on the safe side. There we go. Yeah, the one that's real does have a larger hitbox, it seems, than the other ones too. In that they actually have a hitbox. There we go. Back in the tank. Let's do laser arm first this time. Seems if we circle to the left, we're just safe, which is kind of silly. Like, we were already pretty safe circling to the right, but to the left seems to be even safer. As long as I don't just walk into a missile. It'd help a bit if I was better at aiming my throws, though. Well, we may very well find out if zero score is a problem, because we're getting basically out of points here. Okay, no, it doesn't matter. Good. It means our rating for this fight's gonna be terrible, but this guy takes so long to be damageable because you gotta wait for him to stop flashing. Like, getting a 5-pointer here seems ridiculous. I'm sure there's people out there that can and will do that, but not me, boss. Not practiced enough for that, never will be, because I do not play one thing long enough to get practice to that degree. It's like, that's the issue here, is a lot of this is just hurry up and wait. so that you can actually get an attack off on him that'll do something. There we go. We actually did that without getting hit. I will take pride in just doing the final boss hitless, honestly. My score sucked, but hitless is fun. Let's see. Okay, I wasn't completely right. We actually would have had Water Slider if I just found the one item I was missing in Heavy Room. His Heavy Room points was where Water Slider was. Dark Maze was in Nitros Mazone points, the one Nitros that we just had trouble with there. And Krista Hole was in Shiver Star 2 Shard 1 for Kirby. Funny thing about where those item locations are for Kirby, by the way, that's where the actual Shiver Star 2 is, not the Shiver Star 2 you're shown because the levels are randomized. You'll understand more in a moment because we're about to hop to Kirby. Apparently I don't even get to see the ending sequence? I would assume there'd be an ending cutscene. Maybe I needed to have done the fight better. I achieved the goal, so I'm taking that, but I'm confused. Not gonna worry about it. As I said, I'm counting it. Yeah, that's what I would assume. Is it probably just bugged slightly? Oh, you know what it is? It's probably so that you could actually go back if you didn't have it set to auto-release. That's why. It's a cover in case you needed to do more after completing the fight. Because you could have it set to a goal where it's getting, I think, all points or something ridiculous like that. Is one of the other options, which I wouldn't wish that on anybody, but, you know. People will do what people will do. But that is another one done. I'll go ahead and get us swapped over to Kirby. And then we'll head on over to whatever it is I'll do after that. Thanks, Twitch. Thanks for ignoring my input once again. I swear on some days the category switching glitch gets worse. And I have to assume that it's a server issue at that point. Oh yeah, and we're not gonna see the tracker properly anymore. Because that was the Bomberman tracker that I just disconnected. Tell you what, I'll just quickly switch your view over to the other tracker. Except I have no idea. Wait. Just close the one you don't need anymore, you silly man. And then you'll be able to figure out which tracker is which very easily, because there's only going to be one.